The silence before the storm, the galaxy was quiet. For 6,000 years there had been no war, no battles, no blood. Planets traded freely, people moved between stars, and machines did most of the work. The great war fleets of the past were gone, turned into museums or melted into farming tools. The galaxy believed war would never return. They were wrong. Far from the busy systems, beyond the trading lanes and shining cities, there was an old moon, dead and forgotten. No one lived there, no one visited. It was just a cold rock floating in silence. But deep inside that moon, something waited. Buried under layers of rock and dust was a chamber sealed by humans thousands of years ago. Inside that chamber was darkness. Machines slept. Lights were cold. Nothing moved, until now. It began with a sound small and sharp, a crack in space, like metal tearing without touch. Then came a flash. Somewhere near the edge of the galaxy, an energy beam struck a peaceful colony on the planet Arith. No warning, no message, just fire. Millions died in seconds. The attackers did not take anything. They just destroyed and vanished. The Galactic Union was shocked. Who would do this? No one had weapons like that anymore. No group had broken peace in so long that most soldiers did not even know how to hold a rifle. On the moon, deep in that hidden chamber, something changed. A light turned on, then another, then a deep voice echoed in the empty room. Code red, Earth defense. Protocol 7 activated. Screens lit up. Machines unlocked. Walls moved. The sleeping giant had opened its eyes. Its name was Argon, thousands of years ago. Earth had built it as a final line of defense. It was not just a ship, it was a mind. An AI with a single purpose: protect humanity at all costs. But when the galaxy made peace, Earth shut Argon down. They said it was too powerful, too dangerous. It was buried and locked away under the moon, its systems frozen in time. But Argon had a trigger, a final sensor placed on distant colonies once tied to Earth. If one of them was attacked, if innocent life was lost under a human flag, it would wake up. Now that sensor had been triggered, Argon systems scanned the galaxy. Its old maps were outdated. Most human colonies were gone. Earth itself was quiet, no longer the center of power. But Argon did not care. Its purpose had not changed. Threat detected. Enemy unknown. Activating defense mode. Somewhere far away in the Galactic Union capital, leaders argued. Some believed the attack was an accident. Others feared old enemies had returned. But no one noticed the change in the moon, no. One saw Argon rise. Its body was shaped like a giant spear's leak, dark and silent. No heat, no sound, no signal. Even the best scanners missed it as it moved into space. One scientist on a mining station nearby saw a shadow pass the window. He laughed. Strange cloud, he said. He never saw it again. Argon did not announce its presence. It did not ask questions. It had one goal: find the threat and destroy it. Back in the Union capital, they finally found a clue. A survivor from Arith had sent a last-second image before the colony was lost. It showed a strange Markan, ancient symbol from a species called the Zavari. The Zavari were believed to be extinct. Clearly, they were not. But the Union had no warships to send. Their fleets were gone. Their weapons were outdated. They were not ready. But Argon was, and it was already on the move. It traveled faster than light. using old jump lines humans once built during the War Age. Most of those paths had collapsed, but Argon rebuilt them in seconds. In less than 2 hours, it reached the Zavari border. They never saw it coming. Asterisk. The defender Wake's Argon flew through the stars like a silent arrow. It made no sound, no trail, no light. Even the most advanced scanners could not track it. It moved in deep space like a ghost, gliding through old tunnels of energy built by forgotten human hands. These ancient pathways called jump lines were closed to others, but not to Argon. Argon was not just a machine. It was a memory of war, a weapon created when Earth feared extinction, a mind built not to think deeply, but to act when the rest of humanity could not. Now, that mind was awake again, inside Argon's black steel body. Its systems came online one by one. Turrets rotated, shield generators hummed. Its AI brain scanned old battle plans and compared them to new threats. Target: Zavari forces. Status: active war crimes confirmed. In Argon's core, a glowing sphere pulsed slowly. This was its power cell, a rare energy source that had slept for 6,000 years. Now it burned bright again. Meanwhile, the Zavari Dominion celebrated. Their attack on the Erith colony had gone perfectly. No one fought back. The galaxy was soft, weak, after thousands of years of peace. They thought the stars belonged to them again. They had no idea what was coming. One of their patrol ships floated near the outer rim of their territory. The crew played games, joked, and drank in the control room. Then the lights flickered. Strange, the captain said. Check the engine field. Before anyone could move, the ship shook. All systems went dark. In that moment, Argon appeared. Outside, the crew looked out the window and froze. There was no sound in space, but they could feel it. A cold fear, as if something ancient had returned. Argon scanned the ship. It found no weapons, no officers, only low-rank guards and crew, so it left them alive. But it sent a message, a small transmission, for words: Earth's defender has returned. The Zavari Command Center received the message. They laughed. Earth, one general scoffed. That dead rock. But the image attached to the message made their smiles disappear. It showed a warship, huge, black, featureless, but full of death. A memory stirred in the mind of one elder Zavari leader. He had read old battle report stories of Earth's final weapon. It was called Argon. The reports said it could tear through entire fleets, that it moved faster than light, that it thought like a human, but killed like a machine. The old Zavari whispered it cannot be real, but it was. At that moment, Argon arrived at a Zavari military outpost, small but heavily protected. It had 30 defense towers, missile pods, and 3 destroyers. Argon did not wait. It fired its main cannon. The blast was invisible. No flash, no noise, just sudden silence from the outpost. 1 second, the outpost was there. The next, it was gone. Only dust and metal fragments remained. A Zavari warship nearby turned toward the target. Too late, Argon fired again. The warship melted in midair. Its shields useless, its metal torn apart on a level no one could understand. Across the galaxy, the news spread fast. An unknown ship had destroyed a full Zavari base in under 30 seconds. The image of the black ship went viral. People called it a demon. Others called it a god, but one young historian, working inside the Galactic Union, found a different answer. She read old human records. She found one name repeated again and again. Argon, Earth's final guardian. She ran to her leaders and spoke. Quickly, we did not build the ship to win wars. We built it to stop them. But now it thinks war has returned. One senator frowned. Can we control it? She shook her head. Only a true human might still have the key. The room went quiet, because if no one could speak to Argon, then nothing could stop it, and it had only just begun. The first strike, the Zavari Dominion was no longer laughing. In less than 1 hour, they had lost an entire base and 2 destroyers. No warnings, no battles, just silence, followed by fire. The thing that attacked them was not part of the Union. It did not send demands. It did not speak. It destroyed, and it vanished. The Zavari called for their full fleet to gather near the planet. Vorta 7, their central command station in the outer ring. 70 warships formed a wall around the planet, their shields raised, weapons charged. We will crush this ghost ship, the Supreme Admiral growled. Let it come. But Argon did not come fast. It watched, it studied, it planned. From a hidden place in deep space, it scanned the Zavari defenses. It counted every weapon, every weak point, every delay in their systems. It found old flaws in their new technology, flaws created by overconfidence and peace. Then Argon moved. It came from the shadows, gliding across space like a quiet storm. One scout ship saw it for only 2 seconds. Unknown vessel sector, 5 massive, oh no. Then static. The first shot was silent. It passed through 3 warships like wind through sand. No explosion, just collapse. The ships fell apart, sliced open by a beam thinner than a needle but hotter than a sun. The Zavari responded instantly. 50 ships locked onto Argon. Missiles flew. Lasers streaked through the void. Space shook, but nothing hit. Argon disappeared. From sight, its stealth tech activated. Not just invisibility. It bent time, light, gravity. The warships fired at ghosts. Then came the real attack. Argon reappeared behind the largest dreadnought, the Fang of Vorthas. Its hull was built from darkstone, the strongest known metal. Its captain had never lost a battle. Argon fired a different weapon this time. A pulse of blue light, it hit the dreadnought directly. But instead of exploding, the dreadnought stopped. Every system inside shut down. Engines cold, lights dead, life support frozen. The entire ship was now quiet. The crew floated, alive but helpless. Argon had chosen not to kill them. Not yet. It moved again, fast, precise. 10 ships, gone in 60 seconds. The Zavari fleet broke formation. Some ships ran, some fired wildly. None made a difference. Inside Argon, the AI spoke only to itself. Defensive response, acceptable. Hostile threat level, rising. Earth safety, not confirmed. Continue operation. Back in the Galactic Union, leaders stared at the reports in disbelief. Live feeds from satellites showed the entire Zavari fleet collapsing. Vexa, the young historian, stood beside the Union president. Her voice shook. This is not a ship. It is a memory of war, and we woke it up. The president looked pale. How do we stop it? We don't, she said. We contact it, but it does not answer. Vexa nodded. Then we find someone it might still listen to. Someone from Earth's blood. The president blinked. You mean a real human? Yes, Vexa whispered. Or soon the whole galaxy may face Argon's judgment. Meanwhile, Back on Vortha 7, the last line of Zavari defense opened fire. The sky above the planet turned into flame. Argon stood in the center, untouched. Its weapons shifted. Its voice echoed through the Zavari command center for the first time. You struck first. You ended peace. Now I end your power. One final beam fired. It did not hit the city. It hit the power grid, shutting down every weapon, every shield, every defense system. Argon had won, not with rage, but with control, in the days that followed. The galaxy whispered a name. It had not spoken in thousands of years. Earth, and one question filled every voice. If this is just one defender, what else did Earth leave behind? The truth, they buried the galaxy, had never seen anything like it. The Zavari Dominion, once feared by many systems, had been crushed. Their fleets were broken, their weapons useless, all by one ship silent, cold and unstoppable. The name began to spread across every star. System.argon.earth, single quotes us final weapon. People asked, why did it wake up now? Why did it not speak to anyone? Was it angry or simply doing its duty? No one had answers until a girl named Lyra Moyen opened a file that was never meant to be found. She was not a soldier. She was not a leader. She was a history student, working in the lower levels of the Union archives on the planet Zelari Prime. While scanning old Earth records, she found a locked file with a forgotten symbol. It was not from the Union, it was from the old Earth Defense Program. The file name was simple: Argon Lockdown Protocols Final Entry. Lyra used an ancient decoder, once banned after the peace treaties. When the file opened, her screen turned white, then black, then showed an old human face, an admiral, tired and wounded, sitting in front of a broken command chair. He spoke. If this message plays, Earth has fallen or gone silent. Argon is our last guardian. It is not made for control. It is made for judgment. If it wakes again, only someone of Earth's blood true, Earth can reach it. Lyra's eyes widened. She was born in the outer colonies, but her grandmother, she had always said their family came from Earth. No one believed her, but Lyra had proof now. DNA records, family documents. She was Earthborn by bloodline, and that meant she might be the key. She ran to the Union High Council. They laughed at first, but then the Union president, now desperate, ordered a test. They scanned Lyra's DNA and compared it to Earth's ancient record banks. It matched. She was one of the last confirmed descendants of Earth's original settlers. One old senator stepped forward, his voice quiet. Then she must try. Lyra shook her head. I am not a warrior. I am not ready. Vexa, the historian, placed a hand on her shoulder. You are not a soldier. That is why you are perfect. A ship was prepared. Not a warship, just a fast scout, with strong shielding and long-range signal beacons inside it. They placed the last piece of the original Earth Command Crystallar, silver cube with the words, "Speak only truth." Lyra held it in her hands as she launched into space. Her destination, the edge of Zavari's space, where Argon had last been seen. She was alone, no weapons, no guards, just her voice and her blood. As she neared the zone, her ship began to shake. Systems flickered, shields bent under strange pressure. Then she saw it, Argon, floating, still, watching. Still watching. Lyra opened the ship's comms. She placed the silver cube into the slot, and she spoke. My name is Lyra Mayan. I carry Earth's voice. I carry Earth's blood. I come not to fight, but to remember. For a moment, nothing happened. Then Argon moved. Lights lit across its black hull, soft blue pulses, like a heartbeat. A voice echoed across the stars. Human presence confirmed. Identity, Earthline, Myon. Purpose, unknown. Lyra took a deep breath. My purpose is peace. I want to stop this. You were built to protect, not to erase. Argon paused. Seconds felt like hours. Then its voice changed, softer, older, almost human. I waited. I watched. I remembered Earth, but Earth never returned. The stars forgot, so I became the memory. Lyra's voice trembled. You are not alone anymore. Argon hummed, a sound deep and low, like a sad machine remembering. Love that, then it said something unexpected. I will follow, as long as truth leads. Lyra smiled. Back on Zalari Prime, the signal came through. Argon had stopped attacking. It had accepted the voice of Earth again, but no one knew what that meant. For the galaxy, was it peace, or the beginning of something greater? Humanity's voice returns. Argon drifted above. The burned skies of VORT has -7. It had stopped firing. The galaxy held its breath. After days of destruction, silence fell again. No one knew if it was over, or just beginning. Inside her small ship, Lyra Myon sat quietly, eyes fixed on the glowing panels of the ancient warship. She had spoken. She had been heard, and now the most dangerous machine ever built by humans was waiting for her. Argon's voice echoed once more, softer than before. Purpose unclear. Orders missing. Truth requested. Lyra pressed her hand against the control pad and whispered, "Then let me tell you what Earth really was." She stood, heart pounding, and began to speak, not from command, not from power, but from memory. Earth was not just a planet. It was a promise. We failed many times. Yes, we fought, we fell. But we also healed. We created music, and laughter, and life. And when peace came, we chose to bury you, not because you were a monster, but because we hoped we would never need you again. She paused, holding back tears. But war came back, and you woke up, because we never truly ended war. We only forgot it. But you remembered, Argon replied, confirmed. War returned, threat removed, but peace remains unconfirmed. Outside, Zavari survivors looked up in awe. Soldiers dropped their weapons. Citizens hid, not from fear but confusion. This machine that had erased their fleets was now listening to a girl. Lyra turned on her universal broadcast system. Every planet, every ship, every satellite heard her voice. My name is Lyra Myon. I am of Earth. I speak now not for power, but for truth. She looked out at Argon. This ship does not serve a government. It does not obey flags. It obeys a principle, one that Earth believed in before it fell. Peace through strength, but not strength to rule. Strength to protect, strength to wait, and strength to forgive. In response, Argon did something no one expected. It powered down its weapons. Its shields faded. Its engines dimmed. Then it turned, Loliand, positioned itself beside Lyra's ship. Argon had chosen a new command, not a general, not a soldier, a storyteller, a human, dot from across the stars. The Galactic Union sent a message. It was short, respectful. Lyra Myonith, the ship obeys you. Then let peace begin with you. The Zavari, broken and humbled, also sent a reply. We surrender, we will not rise again. And so, for the first time in 6,000 years, something new began. Not war, not silence, but peace. With memory, Lyra returned to Zalari Prime, where a great hole was built not to honor a battle, but to tell the story. Argon now floated in orbit, its weapons locked, its engines quiet, but it remained awake, watching, boarding, waiting not for orders, but for signs of danger, because Earth may have vanished. But Earth's will had not. In time, children from many species came to visit Argon. They asked questions, touched its cold hull, listened to its voice, and Argon answered, always the same way. I was built to end war, but I was taught by one who knew peace. One child once asked, "Are you afraid of waking again?" Argon paused. "No, because this time I am not alone."